Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little dose of reality. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Real Talk Rants. I'm your host, Steve Molloy, and I want to thank everybody for joining the show tonight. As soon as you come in, please hit that like button, guys. I need that like button hit. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And if you all happen to live in the South Florida area, or you are visiting from out of town, or if you're not visiting from out of town and you want to go online, go to caneswear.com, caneswear.com. And for those of you that live in South Florida, go visit Caneswear, and they're located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. You can go pick up all your Miami Dolphins gear for the year and any of the other South Florida sports teams. And you can pick up all the gear you want over there, all the trinkets, paraphernalia. They got it. Go tell those guys that Fins Talk Sports Network sent you down there, and they say hi, and they will definitely help you out with all your needs when it comes to any kind of apparel or gear. So, with all that said, here we are. Another day, another evening, I have to come on the show and I have to talk about our pathetic, bad, terrible football team, because that's what they are. This Miami Dolphins football team is drowning. It's drowning, and there ain't nobody going to be able to save them but one person, and it ain't Tua Tagovailoa. But we'll get to that a little later. First, I want to talk a little bit about this culture. This culture was set 3 years ago when Mike McDaniel came to this football team as the head coach, and he was on that airplane, and he was with that phone, that cell phone in the airplane, and he started talking to Tua, and they both had big shit-eating grins on their faces and talking about how he's going to make him a great player and they're going to work great together. All this bull crap hype. That's where it all started. That's right there is where that culture started. The culture that you're seeing now, this soft culture. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to get into that. The team culture. Dave Hyde. Everybody knows Dave Hyde, right? He's a beat writer, has been a beat writer for the Miami Dolphins for 20, 25, 30 years, something like that. Well, when he was down there in now I'm talking about this year specifically, but when he was down in the training facilities watching the Dolphins practice and all that kind of stuff, he was like, "Man, this is really weird. Everybody's happy and comfortable and smiling and joyous and have a good time, and everybody shaking hands and slapping asses and kissing people on the forehead. Not so much kissing people on the forehead, but you get what I'm saying. It was just a really happy-go-lucky atmosphere. Everybody was getting along and all this. At least that's what it looked like from the outside, right? Then practice starts. Mike McDaniel and this organization, Terron Armstead didn't practice at all. Didn't practice. All these injury that we had, and this load management program was started this year, and all these people taking rest days and all this kind of crap. No contact. Atlanta Falcons goes down there and they have a joint practice. They're in their freaking shorts Atlanta Falcons dressed up in their pads and their football gear and all this stuff. Miami Dolphins are having their hot pants on walking around the field. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it all starts from Ross, the top, and works down to Greer, down to McDaniel. But McDaniel is the one that's enforcing all this. He's the one that is instilled and has continuously ran with this culture. He's trying to reinvent the wheel that has been invented 100 and something years ago. He's trying to reinvent the wheel that's already set in motion in the NFL. He's trying to set trends. He wears capri pants. Wow. I call them pedal pushers. He's a sneaker hobbyist, or whatever you call those people that collect sneakers. He wears a different pair of sneakers every day, showing them off, man. Got his nice sneakers and his capris. And can't frickin' put two words together. And that's from the beginning. I was a McDaniel. I really liked McDaniel in the beginning. And you know when I started having my doubts and I started questioning his coaching? Is when he went up there and he started speaking. He started talking. Okay? I started questioning that. I started saying, what the heck is this guy talking about? You ask him a direct question and he beats around the bush. Didn't even answer the question. And then you're sitting there as a media guy or the fan, and you don't, and you're like, what did he say? And then these media folks, they forgot the question. Oh God. But it all starts at the top, man. It starts from Ross. Okay? This Miami Dolphins organization has started from Ross. Yes, he's got Formula One. Yes, he has made renovations into the stadium. Yes, and he has made this the number one place of employment to work, right? Yes, he's made it a vacation down there for the players. Hell, Calais Campbell was asked what made him come down here to play for Miami. So, oh, I heard that they had it easy. It was easy down here. It was easy down here. But getting back to Hype was saying also I'm just giving this an example just to show you where this team is at. The Atlanta Falcons after practice were doing sprints. They were doing sprints up and down the field. Sprints after practice. Miami Dolphins, what were they doing? Taking their helmet off, taking their gear off, walking around, getting a tan, walking back into the facilities. They weren't doing sprints. They were ready to get out and finish practice and go soak in the hot tub and in their pools and their houses and go to Disney on ice and play golf and everything else. Go have big old steak dinners in the nice facilities that Ross has made there for him and created there for him, right? Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs were ranked 32 as best places to work. But who won the Super Bowl? Who's been to the Super Bowl multiple times? Kansas City frickin' Chiefs. Miami can't even win a frickin' playoff game. They can't even win a frickin' playoff game. How long's it been? 25 years, something like that? The longest streak of not going to the playoffs? Oh, but they're proud of that because they got a beautiful facilities. They got the Country Club of Florida down there. Just having a good old time. Oh, and to put icing on the cake, when you come to Miami to play, like ABG, you get paid millions of dollars and sit out. You're just gonna sit out because You're not ready. I'm not ready to play. I'm enjoying myself too much. What they do? They got rid of a bunch of young players, up and coming players. Let me. Does this ring a bell? AVG, Christian Wilkins, Robert Hunt, Raekwon Davis, Deshaun Elliott, Brandon Jones, Nick Needham, Connor Williams. Although he was hurt, they never didn't bring him back. Probably didn't even consider bringing him back. What do we get? What do we got? Terron Armstead, after 2 games, or 3 games now, he's out. Concussion protocol. Okay, it's not his fault. I'm not blaming him. He's an injured, battered, old, ready for the convalescent tackle. He's done. He's washed. He's finished. Yes, he is finished. He's played terrible. He's been getting bullied around. And then we got Austin Jackson on the other side, right tackle. Paid him an extension. Top pick, right? High pick. Getting bullied on his freaking butt. Liam Eichenberg, oh man, I don't even have to tell you about him. He don't even belong in the NFL. We got a bunch of freaking backups starting on our O-line. What'd we do? Got rid of starters that are capable, solid NFL starters, and we replaced them with practice squad players. I'm just so pissed at this team right now, man. I apologize. I just had to get this out. You know, this has been building up over 3 years because I bought into the hype again. I was taking them hopium pills. I thought McDaniel was going to be the great coach. I thought he was going to be another Don Shula. I thought the coaching staff was great. I thought the people he brought in were going to be excellent and everything. I bought into it, man. I bought into it. He was McGenius. He was McGenius. We brought McGenius over here from the famous San Francisco 49ers under the Shanahan tree. And it was working the first year. You know, Tua, was approved. Maybe not so much improved, but he had a better season, right? Even though he got hurt again, he had a better season that first year than the second year he came in. And he actually he didn't really play better than the first season. He kind of leveled off, right? But he had more yards, more touchdowns because he played a full season. He played 1 full freaking season out of 4 years. Where is he now? And this guy, Mike McDaniel, yes, Mike McDaniel, his coach, his buddy, his brother, his teammate, as Mike McDaniel calls him. He's my teammate. I'm not the coach. I'm just a social worker. He goes and he walks around Chris Grier. He tippy-toes to Stephen Ross's office. And he says, I want this guy to be my quarterback. Pay him his money. I don't know what he did in that office. But after Tua Tagovailoa got his big bag, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at him getting his big bag. I don't think he deserved it. What has he done here in Miami but put up good stats when he was on the field? Never won a playoff game, but Mike McDaniel went over there like his little big brother. Hey, Ross, you gotta pay him his money. He's my buddy. So what did Ross do? I don't know what he said, what the deal was with him and Ross, what kind of deal they made under the table. Well, I mean, I don't know what it was they did. But the bottom line is, all of a sudden, Tua gets his bag. Then you got Tyreek Hill. No doubt he's the number one player in the NFL, but where's he been? Where's he been in good games? Where's he been the last couple of games? Where has Waddle been? He got his bag. What has Ramsey done? He got his bag. 30-year-old, right? Declining cornerback. We can see it. He had a good game last week, but we can see it the first couple of games. Right? He's not playing like the top paid cornerback in all of football. Are you kidding me? The only players that are playing top flight on this team, like they are playing like football players, right? Given 110% tough players. Zach Sealer, Devon Achane. Those guys are given 110% and more. Calais Campbell, he's doing the best he can. He's playing solid on the defense, right? But can he play as many snaps as he's been getting? Can he do that for 17 games? They're wearing him out. He's 39 years old. Is he going to last? And Jalen Phillips, I feel they rushed him back. Look at him on the field. He's not 100%. He's not 100%. Just look at him. He gets up after a play. You could see he's favoring that leg. Still, is he going to last the rest of the season? And then what do? You go and you draft a first-round pick, red rusher, Chop Robinson. He can't even get on the field. Minimal snaps. He's a specialty player. A first freaking round pick. And then you double down and got Kamara. Where's he at? Malik Washington. We haven't seen him yet in the regular season. Easy E. He had 18 snaps in the game last week. And then with this soft culture, yes, it's a soft freaking culture that they've instilled down here in Miami. And this offense is drowning. And ain't nobody going to save him. Tua ain't going to save him. He can't even swim. He is not saving this organization. Oh, you think Tim Boyle is going to do it? Oh, you think Huntley is going to do it? Some of you didn't even know who he was until he came on the Miami Dolphins, and now all of a sudden he's going to be the hero. He's going to be the great savior. Now, we'll say this about Tyler Huntley. He has a different skill set that we haven't seen here in Miami for a long time. He's mobile. He can run out of the pocket. But then again, I thought Skylar Thompson could create and extend plays. Look, Skylar Thompson, I'm not making excuses for Skylar Thompson. He played like crap. He played like dog poo-poo. Okay? He put himself in that position of getting hurt. Yes, he did. Yes, the O-line didn't help. Okay? Not one iota did this O-line help. But he didn't put himself in a good position either. Okay? And this organization, the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, this coach, did not set him up for success. Okay? He's trying to play. He played the same freaking offense that he's been playing for 3 freaking years. Same plays. Except we're not using Waddle and Tyreek. What the hell? We're paying these guys big bucks and they can't even catch but 2 or 3 passes and only targeted 4 or 5 times? What the heck is going on, Mike McDaniel? And we're throwing to who? Elkridge? Well, I don't know how to say his name. I never even heard of him. But you're trying to get Skylar Thompson to throw to him using the same scheme as you see that Tyreek Hill and Waddle are doing. They're not as fast as Waddle and Tyreek. This whole offense is based on speed and timing and rhythm and spot throwing. That's not Tyler. I mean, that's not Skyler. Skyler. It's not Skyler. He's not that guy. He doesn't have that quick release. Like Tua said, I don't need an O-line, man. I get that ball out fast, brother. I get that ball out fast, brother. God. These guys are always putting their frickin' foots in their mouth. Another famous quote by Calais Campbell. A good team doesn't lose 2 games in a row. Well, Calais, what do you got to say now? Oh, you know what he's got to say now? Oh, well, it's going to change. Once we win, everything is going to be back to normal again. I hope not. Because that back to normal is what's got you in this position that you are in now. Stop it. Oh man, I'm so up. I'm through, man. I'm done with this team, man. No, I'm not done with this team. I'm always going to be a diehard Dolphin fan to the day I die. I'm just upset with this present Dolphins organization, the front office. It starts with Ross, trickles down to Greer, Mr. Giggly Grill. You're more worried about the O-line than we are. Really? Boy, I wish he would come out and talk to the media. Now, I hope the media drills him, but they won't. They won't. They're going to cater to Mr. Ross, and they're going to cater to Mr. Greer because they'll lose their patches or their badges. What do they call it? They're not going to have access to talk to the soft, nice, comfortable, comfy, smiling, get along players. Oh man. Then I don't know if you all remember when Boyer said that that when he came from Buffalo to Miami, he said they knew that Miami, whenever the tough gets going, or I'm not quoting him, but you get the point. He was saying they fold, right? He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. But now he's on the team and he's folding too. Oh God. And here's the deal, man. Yeah. Well, the thing with Boyer's, all this vacation resort atmosphere has rubbed off on him too. It's addicting, man. Like opium. It's addicting. It's addicting. It's addicting. Hey, how you doing, Angel? I appreciate you for joining. What do you mean, does the Buffalo game mean anything? Can you be more specific? I don't know what you mean by that. So here we are. 1-2, and I'll have my pregame show on Saturday at 5 p.m. I'll have my pregame show, and we'll go over the Titans game this Monday night, or maybe I'll have it Sunday. I haven't decided yet. One of those 2 days. I might have it on Sunday night. Probably have it on Sunday night. But here's the deal. Here come the Titans. Remember, the last time they played us in the Orange Bowl, I'm aging myself. The last time they played the Miami Dolphins, guess what? They beat us. They freaking beat us. And the Titans have a decent defense. I know they're 0-3, just like us. They're on even keel with us, right? Even have a worse record, 0-3, we're 1-2. But they have a good line. They have a good O line. I mean, good D line. And you saw what they did to Tua the last time. They had him all confused, and he didn't know what to do. I wanted to make mention of the comments that Boyer's wife made. I think it was a tweet, and she said that something about the and I heard this from Chris Perkins. He's another beat writer down there in South Florida. But then he said that he was saying that she said that the Dolphins are not. They don't practice hard. They don't practice hard, right? That's evident that they don't practice hard, right? We've seen it all off season. So it's not just me saying this. This is Poyer's wife, man. She's saying this. Dave Hype is saying this. He was at practice. Chris Perkins has said this. TD Finns talk. If y'all go check him out, he's been right on a lot of this stuff. Right on a lot of this stuff for 5-6 years, or at least the last 3-4 years. He saw it in practice as well. Thank you, Chef Jew, brother. I appreciate you, man, for joining the show tonight. Yeah, please hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. Guys, I'm sorry for me being upset. I'm just a passionate Dolphin fan, been a fan since 1969, and most of you know that. So I've seen a good team. I've seen a good organization. I've seen coaching, and I know what a good functioning organization looks like. But ever since Ross has taken over this organization, even before then, right? It's dysfunctional. Okay. And everybody thinks that everybody's getting along, shaking hands and slapping behinds, and everybody's getting along good in this organization. Don't let them kid you. There's some friction going on between Greer and McDaniel right now. I guarantee it. And I will tell you this. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we lose to the Titans this week. If we lose bad, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Mike McDaniel was fired. That might be a hot take. I would not be a bit surprised if he doesn't get fired. If we lose big time. Depends how the game goes. There's a lot of stuff involved in if he's going to get fired or not. But I have a feeling he is on his seat right now is burning. It's on fire. Even though Ross paid him the extension, it don't matter. That's a drop in the bucket for Ross. He fired Flores. Got rid of Sperano. Rest in peace. So don't let the contracts think that that McDaniels is here until 2028, and that goes for Tua Tagovailoa too. Do you guys realize he has an out right now after this year? If he lets him go before March 14th, right, of this year, or 2025, 2025, dead cap would be like $30-something million. It's not much. That's a drop in the bucket. So, and he has insurance on Tua Tagovailoa as far as for his because he has his injuries and things like that. So if Tua retires, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I know everybody's thinking, well, Tua's going to be back and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that he's not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come back. Chef Jew. I know, Steve. Same here. Fan since '85, and I want a Super Bowl. I don't want repeat of last year's Titans game because I was there and was upset to see that go home on the walk of shame. Yeah, Absolutely. Hey, Ralph. Thanks for joining, brother. Uh, okay, Fire McDaniel. Hope to be became the Chicago Bears OC. Okay. You know what? There's another thing about Mike McDaniel that I heard there was a podcast going around on X. I don't know if you all are familiar with Jason Whitlock, and he was talking to a coach, Coach B, I believe his name was. Honestly, I didn't really hear this guy before, but he won a championship with I think it was a small college football team. Maybe you guys know more than I do, but anyway, he was also on the McAfee show. This guy, Coach B, and he was talking about. I guess he's familiar with Shanahan. He knows him, or he's been around. He knows of him, or whatever. But he was saying that Mike McDaniel in San Francisco 49ers never called offensive plays. All he was a pencil pusher, basically, and an analytics guy. That's it. They just gave him a title. Then they gave him the title of offensive coordinator, I believe it was, a running game coordinator and everything. But no, he has no experience as a coach, right? He said, and you know what? I am starting to believe. I am starting to believe it. The way that he's operating this team, the way his coaching, his scheme, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know how to get out of it, right? He doesn't know how to get out of the scheme. He's in this scheme and he doesn't know how to get out of it. He's boxed in because I don't think he knows anything else but this scheme. The wrinkle was he brought speed to the scheme. He copied the Shanahan system, right? The West Coast or whatever, and he brought in the speed. That's his wrinkle to this offense. That's it. The first year it worked. I mean, you got the best NFL player, wide receiver on your team. You got Waddle. You brought all this talent, right? That was the first year. You bought all this talent in. You bought it. Yeah, you did buy it. You bought it. You bought the talent. You bought Chubb. You bought Terron Armstead. You bought Mostert, right? You bought a lot of these guys, right? And I don't think he knows what else to do. I don't think he knows what else to do. Incompetence across the board, chronic penalties, lack of focus, quarterbacks missing open receivers dropping balls, bad routes, bad play calling, dinking and dunking with low percentage plays. Bingo. I agree with you 100%, brother, because that's all McDaniel knows how to do as far as the scheme of this offense goes. Okay. You got your two best receivers missing in action. And then you didn't utilize Jalen Wright. You realize you went up to get Jalen Wright, and he only gets 3 or 4 carries in the whole game. It is incompetence. It's incompetence from the owner down. The whole organization is incompetent. It's dysfunctional, big time. Yes, and I'm not making excuses for Skylar Thompson because he played like dog crap. But you didn't set him up for success either. How in the hell are you going to put Skylar Thompson in a position like they did with this offense, right? Put him in the offense. You had 10 days to prepare, and you're going to play the same offense you play with Tua? You're trying to utilize Skylar Thompson like Tua? Like if he has the same skill set as Tua? Don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. Fang, thank you for joining, brother. Christopher, again, I want to thank you for joining, man. You always come in here and make some great comments, man. NFL has a lot of coaches that never played football or real coaching experience. Okay. Then what's Mike McDaniel's excuse? That's my question. Um, let's see what Christopher Jones said. He needs to have the officials nearby because he may have to run to call it timeout or too many. Yeah, these are all mistakes he made in the first year, and they've carried over to the second year, and they've carried over this year so far. I'm telling you, man. Look, as much as I love this team and as much as I want them to win, um, I just don't see it happening this year, man. I had a look. I was on whose show was I on? I think I was on the on Ace Per Head with Curtis. Ace Per Head, got a great show. If you haven't gone over there, check him out. Um, and I said I have a gut feeling that I just something is telling me this team is not going to do well this year. I don't know what it was, and unfortunately, so far it's panning out the way that I felt it was going to pan out. And I just don't think he has an answer, man. I really don't. And the only one that's going to save this team right now, it's on Stephen Ross. You know why I say that? Yeah, he does suck, Fang. You know the reason why I say that? Because he's got to grow a pair, right? He's got to fire Greer. He's got to fire McDaniel. Buy Tua. He's got to start from scratch, and he's got to hire a GM that knows how to run a football organization that's tough-minded, right? Knows football in and out. Doesn't have to. I don't want this some young guy coming in here that's uh, to groom him to be a GM. I want a GM that has some kind of experience, football operations experience, scouting, a grinder, a tough football player, man. Somebody that knows football. And we got to hire a coach like that too. Maybe what's his name? Vrabel. I can't even pronounce his name. You know what I mean. Somebody like that. Maybe even a Gruden. Why not? That's what we need here in Miami. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of this atmosphere that we have down here in South Florida. Somebody's got to be the coach. Somebody's got to be the head. Somebody's got to reel these young guys in, right? Somebody's got to put these guys in their place. Somebody has to hold them accountable. And McDaniel is not doing that. What did Tua say? This is our team. This isn't Coach McDaniel's team. Yeah, the freaking players are in charge of this asylum. The players are. No discipline. Going back to Christopher Jones's comment. That is all about discipline. No discipline. No focus. They're thinking about going back down to South Florida and sunning on the Miami beach at Eden Rock or wherever the beaches you guys in South Florida go to now. I don't know. I used to go to Eden Rock back in the day. Ralph. What does Ralph have to say? Vrabel. I don't know how to pronounce his name, Fang. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. This reminds me of Matt Nagy when he coached the Bears. Can't adapt to a different system. Nagy only knew Andy Reid's system. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. McDaniel doesn't know, and he's got 17 years of experience, right? In football, right? But all he knows is the Shanahan system. How many Shanahan systems have won Super Bowls? How many West Coast offenses has won Super Bowls? Name one. Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send the link to y'all in chat if y'all want to join me, and I'd like to hear some of your comments. I'm gonna go ahead and send the link, and if you want to come up, you can. There you go. So anybody want to join, please do. I want to hear your comments. I've been talking a while, and All you're doing is listening to me. I want to hear you guys, what you have to say, what your opinions are. Who's going to save this organization? Who do you want as the starting quarterback for next week's game on Monday night? The link is sent. So if you want to join, just hop on in and we can talk about this. But yeah, man, that's all I wanted to say basically about the organization. It's very dysfunctional. Uh, what? Let me try to send it again, man. Hold on. Let me try sending it again. How about now, man? Try it now. But yeah, I'm just upset, man. I hate to see this organization going down the tubes. It's drowning right now. It's drowning in. I just don't know how we can fix this. I know the fans. We got to start. We got to start using our voice, and we got to start speaking up, man, because we're consumers, right? We buy jerseys, we buy season tickets. We spend money on concessions on the, at the Hard Rock. I don't live down there now, but some of you guys do, and we need to speak up. Christopher Jones. Let me add Christopher. Hey, Christopher, you there? Hey, Christopher, how you doing, brother?
Look at that. It worked. See there? It worked after all.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. How you doing, man? So give
I'm
me give
doing
me your
well.
take. Give me your take, man. What do you got to say, man? What I've been talking about. What's your opinion on all this? How are you feeling?
I, I, I think it's on a relay and it's like giving dual narration here. But well, my take is the things I made in there, the comments. They're- Yeah, see what it is. I'm not sure whether it starts and leaves off, Steve. But sorry, let me start again. But
Sure.
lack of discipline, lack of competency. This guy's a great cheerleader. He's everybody's pal, but he's not holding them accountable. You can see it. And not just the penalties. The penalties are chronic. I mean, they're out of control. This is embarrassing. I mean, Seattle had their penalties too, but Miami, oh my goodness. But not just that. How the drop balls, bad routes, motion. Some not everybody's on the line of scrimmage like they should be. Too many men, too little men on the field. They don't. This team does not feel that they're going to get chewed out for their mistakes even if they load this team up with talent, with all the money they have, the highest paid trio in the history of the NFL, they got money all over the place. That's not going to get around all those oversights. It's just not. You can't put, uh, even if you got brand new tires and a fresh oil change on a car with all these mechanical problems, it's going to have problems. They got to straighten that out. Now they would need to, Marino in his prime, and I don't think he could restore this stuff. But I think with Huntley, they could at least get some mobility, not have a statue back there, maybe keep the defense guessing a little bit. A total fix? No. But they might be able to get more production. They're not able to free up those receivers. Look at Hill and Waddle at that money, Steve. They can't get open, and that is a problem. How about Johnu? He was supposed to offset all this.
There you go. Yeah, exactly, man. He was they were hyping him up all off season and during training camp. All the beat writers, oh, John O. Smith, he's gonna do some they got package for him, special packages. Even the players were talking about it. Where has he been? but I agree with you on the accountability and all that. What freaking coach is going to allow Julian Hill to commit 4 penalties and he's still in the freaking game? Did you hear what I said? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
on a delay, Steve. So I can't.
That's
That's why we're talking over each other sometimes because I can't tell where it start. It's not live or something, maybe.
No, you should be live. We're live. But yeah, I agree with you on the accountability for sure. Uh, can you hear me? 'Cause I'm just the comment that I'm making is, how are you going to allow Julian Hill to stay in the game after committing 4 penalties?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, but he wasn't the only one with penalties. There was others as well. I mean, look at the. I mean, I know this offensive line is bad, and everybody's going to talk about that. Uh, and there's much to be desired there. But even if they had the best offensive line in the league, all those penalties dropped. The one Smythe, I love him, but he dropped the touchdown. This guy Boyle came in, he did all he could. You know, they just got to get more. They got to be more efficient all the way around.
Yeah, for sure. And on your comment about Tyler Huntley, yeah, I would definitely love to see him play. Uh, this week, Monday night, for the reason you mentioned. He adds another dimension that we haven't seen in this system, especially with the O line, the way that it just it's not good. But maybe, as you said, he's a little more mobile and he can create a little bit off script. Maybe make a few more runs downfield and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying he's the savior. He's not going to come in here. He's a practice squad guy, right? He came off the practice squad. But he did do well with in Baltimore Ravens when he had to take over for Lamar Jackson. Yeah, he's probably good for a couple games. He might be solid, but then after that, then even his mobility and all that stuff is going to be figured out by these defenses.
Well, look at this, Steve. They were down inside the what is it, 5 or 6 twice
Four
and
yard
couldn't
line.
score. If they had a quarterback who could take off, the defense couldn't just charge in there. Here's what we can't have: we can't have a statue back there where the breakdowns they're having and the miscommunication they're having, where they all just know where he's at. They just draw a beeline right to him, and there he is. We can't have that. We have to have somebody that they fear might take off. He'll run in the end zone and get the touchdown if they don't watch it. So that'll offset some little things and make them at least pause. That'll help.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% on that. Like I said, he adds another dimension, and basically that's where we're at right now, Christopher. That's just where we're at. We've got to try something different. And I know McDaniel is not going to change the scheme because he doesn't know how. And that's my opinion. He hasn't done it in 3 years. He's not going to do it, in the middle of the season. So it is what it is. This is where we're at. This is what we're stuck with. Now, I like Anthony Weaver. I think we're going to have to rely on our defense on turnovers, putting us in a position where we don't have, far downfield to score. That's what we're going to have to do, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be. They're going to have to come up with adjustments. I liked after the game, McDaniel said, "It all starts with me." He made several references about about his accountability, how it boils down to him. All right, Mike, show us. Show us the accountability. I mean, we're all aware that it comes down to you, sir. It's no secret. We know that. Now you show us. how you can adjust that. You're coming up against a team with no wins on Monday night. Show us that you can make a corrective disciplinary change somewhere. And at least, let's see if we can cut your penalties in half, Mike. Let's see if we can cut the penalties in half. Can we do that much?
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. I agree with you there. And as far as Mike McDaniel making the comment, it all starts with me and all that. Duh. I mean, that right there tells me he has no answers.
Exactly. Well, he knows. He knows the kick is up. He knows that it all points to him. In the end, there's an expression that your team is a reflection of you. Well, if the team is a reflection of you, boy, you're not looking so good here. You're not shining. So let's see what you can do about it. I'm not expecting them to go out and look all world. I'll tell you what, Steve, if they can't manufacture a win over Tennessee, this team they got real problems. They might be the worst in the league.
Oh, well,
Everybody thought they're going to beat Seattle, not you. You knew.
yeah. Yeah. Well, look, yeah, I knew they had problems before the season even started. I was just trying to be a little optimistic, and my homer came out in me and everything. So, but it is what it is, man, and we'll see. I agree with your points. If we can't beat an 0-3 Tennessee team next week, I believe Mike McDaniel just might get fired. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's the case. I know Greer will still be here. They might, Ross might wait till after the season to let him go, if they even let him go. But that's the only way I see us getting out of this hole, man. Is firing Greer, firing McDaniel, letting Tua go. Look, Tua's a good quarterback. But he's not going to take us to the promised land.
Well,
That's just
there
the
are some
reality.
interesting. There's some interesting dynamics here. Ross is trying to sell 15% of the team. Hell, he makes more in that Formula One race than he does in the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, he just raised prices. They did all the renovations on the stadium. I know he's been real loyal to Greer, and he likes to take on these projects, and he's sure throwing money around. But pretty soon, he better be careful he doesn't lose. It took him a while to build this fan base up because there's a lot of things to do down here in South Florida than go watch those Dolphins. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, so if you want to keep them there and you want to pay for your renovations and so on, you better keep them happy. And right now, you've got some targets on some people there that he can no longer make excuses for, and that's going to become obvious and glaring.
No, 100%, 100%. Christopher, thank you for joining tonight, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to see if anybody else wants to come up, and I appreciate all your comments, and I really appreciate you coming up here, man.
All righty, thank you.
Yes, sir. So there you have it. Christopher Jones made some really good comments. I agree with him 100%. Anybody else want to come up here and give me your takes, your opinions? This is your team just as much as it is mine, man. I do this for you guys. So if you want to come up, Kenna, I see you're in the house. Kenna, I see you around town here in the streets on other podcasts and stuff, making great points as well. Fang, I thank you for joining tonight. So if nobody else wants to come on, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. But let me get this last comment here. What if Ross sells his shares to Greer? That would be horrifying. Oh my God, no! Please. Nah, I don't know, man. You got a good point there. I hope not. I know he has. I don't know. I was going to say his daughter, but it doesn't look like his daughter is going to be taken over. I think he's starting to. I think he's starting to see the light, and I think he's starting to sell it off piece by piece. I mean, he bought it for $1 billion. He's selling 15% for $1 billion. His team is worth $7 billion. So it's not like he didn't make any money, and he's continuing to make money off this team. And Formula One, like Christopher Jones said, Formula One in 1 year makes more money than this whole Dolphin organization does the whole year. In one race, I mean. So I don't know, man. And he moved down here to South Florida too. And I had a podcast about that. Was that a good thing or a bad thing? So I don't know. But this is where we're at, guys. So anyway, I had to come on here. I had to give you my rant, how I felt about this team. Had to get it off my chest. And I appreciate you for putting up with my rants. And again, I will have a pregame show on Sunday. I don't know the exact time yet, but keep looking out for it. It will be on Sunday. I don't know the exact time yet because I have grandkids coming over and stuff, so I got to figure out a time. But other than that, man, I really appreciate all you folks coming in here and joining the show. And I will definitely see you all probably on Sunday, guys. So let me try to find how I do the outro here, and I'll do the outro. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. All right, guys. Have a good one, and God bless. And remember, Dolphins #1, baby!